Now back up to the top, age versus experience. Jared Elston, the youngest man in the field at 23, going up against by far the most experienced Alaskan backcountry rider in snowboarding right now. It is the GOAT, Travis Rice.
Now, this is a rematch from the Jackson Hole stop where these two went head-to-head and Jared emerged victorious over Travis on his home turf. But now he's in the den of the lion, Alaska, with the man who has created this contest.
My experience is nothing. I've never been to Alaska and I've never ridden anything like this. Yeah, I mean, I've been daydreaming about coming to Alaska for so long. So to finally get up here and like under these circumstances is a dream come true for sure. Yeah, natural selection is totally different from all the other contests because it's like, all right, there's so many variables with like snow and terrain and everything. And just like to have this contest pulled off in the way it is just like makes it completely unique to any other contest out there for sure.
The thing that strikes you about Jared Elston, though, is that you watch him in Jackson Hole. When he went up against Travis, when he went up against Sage, he didn't seem to feel the pressure. The pressure seems to create this incredible stoke, this energy in him, and he thrives off it, if anything.
Oh yeah, Jared is a true ATV. He's part of this new breed of snowboarder that just tackles everything voraciously, as we see him dropping in with, fully hell for leather into this Alaskan spine.
Fantastic use of voraciously as well. Big vapor trail there as he pops off that first nose. Now he starts to get in above the exposure. The calm before the storm.
As he's navigating that same kind of line that Ben took, going a little more conservative, it looks like, on the side of the spine than Ben chose.
100%. Like, these are beautiful turns, but he's burning vertical here. And the judges have made it so clear in some of the big matchups. If you're laying up anywhere, if your run isn't super intense top to bottom, they're going to punish you for it.
And this is a kind of dangerous place to be sitting because for him, this is one of his first ever runs, just dropping there. That was excellent. But he's going against, the mayor of Alaska right now. So he's got basically someone hot in his heels without even having dropped in before.
Yeah, for me, it's beautiful. It's the kind of snowboarding we all want to do. But, lovely front three there at the bottom. But at the moment, this is I'm going to go out and say it's a pretty pedestrian run.
I think that, plays to the fact that Jared has not been to Alaska before, as he said, and he's just trying to probably find his feet underneath him. And he's such a strong rider that you can see that confidence building at the end there with the back-to-back 360s. But is it going to be enough for what Travis is planning in his head and the gears turning up there to drop in right after him?
And he wants to stay on his feet at this stage. He wants to get a feel for the slope. Can you imagine where his adrenaline levels are at the moment?
Oh, through the roof, out the ears right now.
Okay, back up to the top. And this is the man we've all been waiting for. Travis Rice, the man whose concept has become reality in the shape of natural selection. He wasn't here last year. Let's find out what he makes of Alaska this year.
To win an event up here with the rider field that is doing this event, it would be incredible because that means that I would have ridden well. And I think that's everyone's goal coming up here is, at the end of the day, it's like we all just want to ride well. We all want to ride to our best ability. So it would mean a lot, especially with the field of riders that are up here. Yeah, the magic of the industry alliance is it allows, endemic brands that support snowboarding to also, work with and collaborate with the Natural Selection Tour. For me especially, it's brands like Quicksilver, GoPro, Union, BOA, YETI, and LibTech. Like those brands I have incredible partnerships with, and they also support the tour. It's just a beautiful little symbiotic circle.
A lot of people very, very surprised watching Natural Selection at just how competitive Travis Rice is. They haven't seen him in a bib. I remember him between 2002 and 2010. He was a ferocious competitor, and we're seeing the best of that come out in him again here at Natural Selection.
And just look at how he charged that first hit on the top of the spine. I mean, this is his playground. This is his wheelhouse. Now we're finally getting to see him in the event that he has created in the terrain that he has chosen.
And already you can see the difference in the speed and the confidence he's got in this kind of terrain.
I just think the POV cam lines, oh my God, massive backside 360. That was enormous.
That was gigantic, straight out of the sea monster sized draw of gigantic, or Leviathan, we should say. They're almost paddling his way across. He wants to make another feature now. And I was about to say, like, he'd got the big mountain credentials there, but we were missing the freestyle smarts.
Oh my goodness. Yeah, I was immediately thinking the dark matter lines and just that technical prowess. But, you know, he's the brains behind this. He knows the ethos of what he wants. This is like we said, his playground, just popping a casual looking, but not casual frontside 180.
So setting up, it's cab 5. Big cab 5 onto a beautiful transition, triples down the landing.
Oh, and going down a little bit, but really taking advantage of the terrain. Really, you know, throughout every stop of this tour, we've seen Travis open up new lines and really kind of picking things apart. And that is, again, what we're seeing here now in AK.
You can hear the crowd at the bottom of this run cheering that one in. The intensity, and we said it at the top, the ferocity that he had there. Really stamping his mark on this competition.
You're not worthy. What the? Dude, you are a goddamn psychopath. How the hell did you go over there?
Just continued brute mental strength is how he got over there.
Jared Elston, we said it at the top, it was a little bit pedestrian, and in the face of Travis Rice's run, this does look a little bit soft.
The thing that I think is very promising, though, about Jared's run is at the bottom, you could see him getting more comfortable. He had the back-to-back 360s. I feel that he is going to let loose a bunch more in his second run. That's just the kind of rider that he is.
But you're looking at that frontside 360. When we see Travis's back 3 in a minute, I think you're going to see that Travis's is 2 or 3 times the size of that, at least. And it's not a simple transfer over a ridge. He's clearing so much terrain with it.
Oh yeah, Travis's run from top to bottom was an example of what the judges are looking for when it comes down to it. It was technical, his terrain choices. I mean, that was just absolutely massive.
And pinpoint sniper landing. Look at the pop he gets off that.
No grab, but still looked so good.
It's Devon Walsh style all the way, isn't it? Then this front one, this is what judges want to see. A switch link, you're not reverting to set up a cab 5. Instead, he's ridden a critical part of the face switch.
That was honestly so technical. And that's when the credo comes into play that even though he had that fall at the bottom, the judges are going to be rewarding that overall appraisal of his run very highly.
On the scale of things, I think this score's got to be mid to high 80s. I genuinely do.
That gap is
So Jared Elston getting schooled by Travis Rice. Let's see what the judges make of it. Elston knows that he's got to turn up for this second run. Otherwise, his Alaskan journey is going to be over before it begins. Travis, on the other hand, looks like he's on a mission today, doesn't he?
Run 1, 65.65. Rice's score, 90.
Oh, there it is! 90 points, first run.
Ready to drop, you will be heading to
Oh, okay, cool. I was
90.
gonna say, there's room to improve on that.
A man on a mission. I mean, this is a culmination, too, of much longer than
that
just
gap.
this season.
That gap, that's one of the best gaps I've ever hit.
The highest level of snowboarding, and it coming down to the wire. Now, the Alaskan rookie, just 23 years old, he's so light-footed, so spry in his riding. He's bringing a real energy that's waking up some of the older heads in this field. Jared Elston, a little bit pedestrian, we called it, or conservative in his first run. Is he going to light things up for number 2?
I think that's one thing that we've seen from Jared's riding in the past 2 stops is that he can really open it up and just goes for it. And he does so with control. And just being able to watch him hopefully bring that to this terrain.
That's what you want, isn't it? That primal scream that we saw in the Temple of Stoke back in Jackson in the finals going up against Sage. And at the moment, there's trepidation here.
And that's going to open the door for Travis because he doesn't he's so authoritative when he goes down these spines.
Oh, and it's the scale, isn't it? That's what Jared's getting used to here. You can pick up speed so quickly, and the features are all so much bigger than you think they are. So you could hear the shock in his voice. Oh my God. You're thinking, oh, I've overcooked this. But he's got into that lovely north-facing side of the spine. Snow quality is primo in there.
It's absolutely perfect.
Silent as well.
And you can hear it right there. I think this honestly, though, this is just foreshadowing. Oh, look at that back three.
Beautiful.
That was amazing. That's what I mean when you say that Jared he will go for it.
Yes!
Whoa, beautiful backside
Go on, Jared Elston.
720. That was gorgeous.
Oh, and he's got hung up in exactly the same spot. Who did we see pop out there? I think it was Travis. After that little step down that he had, he popped off those same little rollers. Bit deceptive there. But how was the backside 3 into that pocket, then set himself straight into the 7? We're looking at the creativity and the face reading of natural terrain there. He linked those together so quickly.
Yes, that was so rad. And again, that's what I mean is like we're seeing Jared's really his first foray into this kind of terrain, but it bodes very well that he is already doing this. I mean,
well, Travis has backed him into a corner.
Yes.
And we've
Hard
already
to go
seen
for
Jared's
a
got a
reason.
little bit of the wild dog in him. And Travis, with that huge first run, has backed him into the corner. Little bit soft on the top, and then he just opens up the second half of that run. And no doubt, he's put some pressure on Travis.
oh, completely. I mean, a backside 720 at the bottom. Travis is up there being like, okay, what do I need to do to ratchet up my line right now?
All right, boys, see the bottom.
So Travis Rice dropping in for his second and final run in the quarterfinals. Huge
Wow.
first turn.
Beautiful hack right there from the man from Jackson.
Detonating a couple of turns up top, crossing that spine. Winding his way up onto the front of this nose. And he's carrying speed, isn't he? Little drop. Oh! The back 5 and reverts out of it. He had to switch that round pretty quickly. But that will be clean. The judges may take a little off in that combination linking sense, but the trick itself was immaculate.
And heading cross court to the second spine and backside 360 into the spine just to the left of that.
And you saw on the landing there how much composure Travis has got. He wasn't even thinking about the landing. He was already looking at the next feature.
Exactly, and that's so important when, as you said before, you lose so much vertical so quickly that really maximizing every place that you are in is so important.
Cap 7! What was he thinking? So he'd linked it. We'd seen that beautiful front 1 again. Effortless switch turns to a cab 7.
Wow, I mean, that was him ratcheting things up.
Oh my goodness, a glimpse of what Travis Rice's ambitions for natural selection are. It's going to be interesting. So we've got a 90-point score from Travis on run 1. The backside 5 with the front 1 and the cabs. This run is huge. If he can, I want to see how much he gets taken off for bombing that cab 7, but...
And I think what we're looking at is if he advances into the semifinals, that's a terrifying direction that he's taking. And massive gap from Jared Elston right there. A little bit wobbly in the air, of course,
And
but
he's
really sending it.
That's where Travis went with the back 3 first go. So we kind of know, like, the 90-point score is beyond Jared at this point. I think we can assume that Travis is going to go through, but still, look at that.
And I think what's so important to note is that regardless of what the outcome is we are seeing a glimpse of what is possible from Jared Elston. This is just him really kind of, dipping his toes into Alaska right now. So there's more to come from him.
And he's adapted to the natural selection format so quickly. The next 3 or 4 years are going to be fascinating for him. But right now, if you're going up against Travis Rice in the semi-finals, be really, really scared. Like, he has got the bit between his teeth today. That backside 540 up at the top. Then the back 3 to get into this little line here. And look at the speed he's carrying. He's just floating through here. And look at the exposure off to his left-hand side.
And he looks so calm and collected. I mean, it's semi-superhuman. That was...
And most of us couldn't do that
No.
forwards, and he's just come in switch.
And then this is absolutely enormous.
He is so close to putting this down as well. Look at the way he dips his nose in. So nearly got that.
And finding that landing right there, just that perfect transition. I mean, like you said, the opportunity to go against him in semifinals is terrifying right now.
He wants this so badly. Okay,
No
so
one I'd
Travis...
rather lose to than Travis Rice, I'll say that.
Well, you're almost certainly going to do that today, Jared Elston, I'm afraid.
You don't think that'll put you through? I don't think to the 90.
Okay, so Travis Rice sat on that 90 from the first run. I think Jared was on a 65, so it's going to be... Like, Jared, I think, could push into the mid-70s, maybe late 70s.
Not trying hard enough, so...
Wise words from Travis.
Yeah, and I tell you what, tomahawking at 39 is a really different prospect to tomahawking at 23. So Jared Elston knocks his score up to 73, but he is a full 17 points shy of Travis Rice's first run score of 90. Travis Rice advances to the semi-finals, and there he will meet Ben Ferguson.